here we go. My Ford 2024 model year F350 Limited HO was a better truck than this Ram. Yes, I know. Before you fall off your couch, just listen to me. You're going to scream and ask, why do you drive a Ram over a Ford if that's the case? And we could play devil's advocate all day. But I'll state my facts and you take it for what it is. This channel is all about sharing my experience, so here we go. If you didn't know, I had a 2023 for whopping 10,000 miles. That's not a whole lot of miles. And that tranny started bucking. And I went to the dealership, told them what's going on, and said, you could buy it. Give me a number. They gave me a good number, and I highly doubt they ever addressed the issue with the tranny, and they sold that truck. So, we can't argue a whole lot with that 23. I had a good experience besides the tranny. If you didn't know, end of 23, they fixed that issue with the tranny. So if you have a 24 or newer 10-speed Ford, you have a better transmission. There you go. Next runner-up is a 24 Ford F350 Limited. And I gave up that truck with 35,000 miles on the clock. Right about, shoot, I have 500 miles more on this one than I had on that one, right? So, my 24 experience was worth 35,000 miles. So, next question. You know, one size does not fit at all, but the most relevant question is, what do you use your truck for? So, what did I use my truck for? Hauling my booty around, hauling my family around, hauling, doing like daily errands, just driving the truck as a passenger vehicle is what I'm trying to say, and using it for business. A little bit in bed transportation, mostly on trailer. So that truck, when it was working, it was always seeing anywhere from, shoot, I don't know, 10 to 20,000 pounds behind it. Okay, that's just how that one went. So, with that being said, it spent more than half of those miles doing that, just like this vehicle. So, it's a fair comparison. Just completely two different vehicles, right? That's a Ford, this is a Ram. Why was the Ford a better truck? And here's the highlights. It was a lot quicker. Yes, it's not a race car. Yes, I'm not buying a dragster. Yes, I have fast vehicles for fast speeds. But sometimes you want to dart across 4 lines of traffic and you gotta go. This thing don't go so fast. You mash that throttle, this thing don't move. It doesn't respond as quickly. Ford just lights them tires, okay? So, buck tailing around town, just hot rodding it around town, Ford is a much more acceptable, appropriate, easier to use vehicle. So what does that tell you? I'm empty quite a bit. I drive around my truck a lot as a passenger vehicle. Half the miles, give or take. A little less, about 40%. So that's where, also, in extreme heat, so in extreme temperature, either heat or cold needed, the Ford cab flows, circulates. I don't know how else I could explain this. The air flows in the Ford cab a lot better than it does in this Ram. This Ram is just fine as far as, you know, is it enough? Is it good enough? Is it sustainable enough? Is it acceptable enough? Absolutely. But there's a big but. When you've come from a Ford and Ford cools off the cab really quick versus the Ram, I know color. I get it, guys. The exterior color on my Ford was white and this is charcoal. I get that, but just the flow of air, right? Sometimes you're going down the road and the cab gets hot and you need to cool it off. Ford flows air a lot better through the cab. Thermal efficiency, they are quite the same. What I mean by that, on a cold day, you exit your vehicle and then you come back in it and it's not ice cold 5 minutes later. Yeah, both of them are really good about being thermally efficient. So that's not the issue. The issue is flow of air in the cab. The HVAC system in the Ram sucks. AC sucks. Heat sucks. Is it sustainable? Yes. Is it average? Yes. But it doesn't. So when the Ford's extreme in both areas, and then you get this mediocre guy on this Ram, you just see it plain as day. That's another thing. One thing the Ford can't do that the Ram just aces is holds the line. Ford kind of floats. It's the weirdest thing, and it shines when you're with the trailer in tight traffic. Like when you're going through the pass with the trailer, hands down every time I'd much rather be in the Ram. Ram's just like set in the line, where the Ford just kind of like wanders. And it's not a steering suspension issue. It's like a stability thing. Maybe the axles need to be a little bit wider so you got leverage. And it seemed like with my bigger tires, with the bigger tires and the heavier offset wheels, that truck did get better. That's a fact, because once I went to factories for a couple days before I traded it in, that was self-evident, pretty evident, and you could notice. I mean, the tires suck, and it didn't have anything going for it as well. So the whole floatiness of the Ford definitely is there. I'm pretty sure the offset wheels would help with that. But the Ram, just when you can't just get up to speed, and I know this is not a hot rod, but as a daily driver for a guy like myself, Ford is better. When you incorporate more on the towing side, Ram is better, just hands down. The biggest killer that kills the Ford is their exhaust brake. It is an utter joke. That thing has nothing compared to Ram. Ram's exhaust brake is the bee's knees, and you think your 4th gen or your 5th gen's good, you got to try one of these. You got to try one of these 25s. Once this thing feels pushed, it's like, whoop, hold my beer. It has like the second stage. No, not the second setting. Second stage, like it starts choking out the turbo and your boost gauge starts going up. I mean, you feel it. You feel it. You got your manual, you got your automatic. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like this truck feels pushed. Oh man, it turns on beast mode. Love it, love it, love it. That's why I say in my other videos that this truck's the better towing rig. But as an average, all-around truck, Ford's the better truck. And we can argue till we're blue, but it's just my experience. If it wasn't for the Mega Cap, I would be in a Ford. So, what does that tell you? I don't tow 100% of the time. A lot of my miles are just bobtailing around town, taking care of errands. So that's where it shines, right? That's where I favor the Ford. And I also favor the Ford's cap over the Ram. Just, flows, and I think it's pretty much the airflow. You come in and you get to, it is wider. The cap is wider on that Ford. Anyways, guys, there's a couple other minor things. What were they? There's a couple other minor things I wanted to underline on that Ram versus Ford thing, and why I would favor Ford as a daily if I didn't tow. So yeah, overall, an average Joe would be, I think, better suited in that other truck. But that's my personal experience, and that's what this channel is all about. Hopefully this helps. I'm not telling you if you tow all the time, don't buy a Ford. I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying you'll be far better off in a Ram if you tow all the time. I love the exhaust brake, and it pretty much shines on high speed, coming to a stop, rolling hills, passes, stuff like that. If you just seriously live in some flat area, you absolutely got no hills to climb and come off of, then yeah, maybe that exhaust brake isn't all that worthy to you. But for me, I love the fact, and here's the bottom line, guys, Ford will not let you kill yourself, okay? That's what that exhaust brake's there on the Ford. It will not allow you to kill yourself. Ram will slow you down. That's just the difference. Ford relies on the service brakes to, slow you down off or on ramp. Ram's like, oh, I got you, bro. So Ram definitely slows you down, and Ford just holds the speed. There you go. That's the best way I can explain it. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. As always, may the good Lord bless you, and may you all have a mighty fine day. Ciao, bye.